These are my favorite podcasts. I got to tell you guys. I mean, I like it when we have these guests on and all this stuff, but we've done more bullshitting in the last hour waiting on Craig to get here. Who do we talk about? Turtle Box. We got to say thank you to Turtle Box.
Hoof Grip.
Hoof Grip's always been awesome.
Yep.
They're really cool. Turtle Box is everywhere.
Big time.
I've been seeing them everywhere. You have the new one that's supposed to be bigger and louder.
Yeah, no, they're badass.
He's
I'm looking forward to being annoying.
I talked to him on the phone, the owner of him, and John, and he's going to come on the podcast.
That's cool.
I've been seeing they prank with them too, which I'm excited about that. You want to put them in the front seat and then hit a button.
Yeah, they fuck with them.
They got them over there at Bucktown, like when them boys win them bull ridings at Bucktown.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a neat product. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, Hoof Grip, like I said, they've been riding since day one.
Yep.
Making sure them horses ride in style.
Yeah, check them out, hoofgrip.com. They got the best footing in the game, in the trailer game.
Yeah. Fastback ropes.
Yep.
They send us hats, ropes. Kind of hooked us up all the way around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fastback's good people. They got Terry. They got Cole.
Yeah, that's who did it, Terry.
Yeah, Terry's cool people. I've known her forever. I did she was married to a guy named Bronk Fanning back in the day, and I wrote an article for a paper kind of similar to she was an editor, but she's been a hustler from day one.
Hell yeah.
So when you call Miss Terry if you
Terry.
need something. So if that's what you need. So, but Coy came from pro-choice. He's been all down the line, and he's been educated well enough, and he cares about his product. They want to produce a good rope, and so far they've done a wonderful job. I use the natural is what I've been using, and it's been the truest rope that I could really honestly find. It's always open. It's straight. It does good no matter where I go. So the ombre, I've been trying it a little bit too, and it's a little heavier. It'll work good in certain situations, but for right now, I'm just using the natural. But big shout out to Fastback. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, Caesar, he's still on the deal in the back. You know, him and Brock. You know, they say it's like almost the same picture. They had what's his name's house? So
Ryan Motes.
Ryan Motes' famous arena. Yeah. You know, shout out Caesar too. He'll be back hopefully the next.
Where's he up north, huh?
Still in Montana. Yep.
Well, I don't blame him. There's gonna be 115 here.
Yeah, no, his kids are up there rodeoing big time. You guys seen on the social media? They've been kicking ass.
Yeah,
they win. That kids have already won so many saddles, and all three of them are kicking ass. So good for them.
Good.
I mean, really, truly, too, and I mean, we'll just give shout-outs to when we want to give shout-outs to people, but I was kind of checking stuff out, and I've always been friends with Tammy West White and Ryan White and all those guys with Best Ever pads, and they got cool stuff. So
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
If you want to look at some cool stuff,
Hey,
I'm giving them a free plug because I just like them, number one.
I'm giving
I love
Bex
their product.
I'm gonna give Bex a free plug.
Yeah, give
me and Britt. We all wear the glasses.
Yeah, they got cool stuff, and
it seems like they fit your face better. I don't know, like if that's a real thing or not, but it just seems like it doesn't. They don't sit, down on your.
That and the best part about it is story too. Coming from where Jason was and the Adams family, who was they're a great family. Rambo's a champ and good people, but you can tell. I mean, that someone that wanted to do something outside of rodeo that was pretty successful and pretty fucking cool. That's what we want to see.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to something like that. But like I said, Tammy West White, Best Ever.
Yep.
Free plug there. Looking for product. No shit.
No, for sure. We'd love to put both of these guys up here on our wall. We'd love to have.
But they got cool stuff, and that's for the most part all my years with the endorsements and Cinch for all they've ever done all those years.
Cinch is great.
It was just good to be a part, not necessarily just of a company that, I've got an endorsement deal, but it's been fortunate for me to be able to talk about or deal with cool companies that make cool shit, and that's what we like to deal with.
I mean, I like Cinch so much. I had a kid a week ago, and I named him Cinch.
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick. We got Brandon had a kid.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then also Craig back there, my brother-in-law.
Yeah. We're just having kids over here. I mean, really, we ain't doing shit.
Bunch of fertile motherfuckers.
We ain't doing shit, but yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been 17 years since I had a baby, and I forgot. It's a lot of work.
Babies are work.
Yeah, they're a lot of work.
Yeah,
so.
Shout out to Lillian Payson. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say one cool
babysitting.
thing.
He was babysitting.
He got mad at me the other day. I'm babysitting. You can't babysit your own kids. Fuck, you can't.
I know he sends me videos and shit, and you'll hear his kids in the background talking shit. I'm like, man, they take after you.
Yeah. What are you doing today? Oh, I got to babysit. I'm like, your own kids, man?
Yeah.
I got to run around and take them to all their sports, he tells me.
That's a full-time job, let me tell you.
Dude, shout out Karina right there, bro. Good thing you bought her that Wagoneer, because the next step was honestly like some sort of a transportation van.
Yeah, we got to get sponsored by Wagoneer.
Yeah.
Bus.
Yeah.
Bus.
You guys should have like a cleat and glove sponsor.
Ain't
You
no
should
lie.
stop worrying about what we're doing with the ropes and the horse trailers and look into a cleat and glove sponsor.
I'm telling you, with 4 of them in every sport, multiple sports, it is a fucking challenge, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, like Hayden, she's playing now. She'll play club soccer and she plays high school soccer. We go not this weekend, next weekend to Oceanside for a 4-day tournament. And I mean, these club teams, like, they just don't fuck around. They're like, hey, this is where the tournament is. This is the hotel you stay in. This is when you have to be here.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
They're like,
Yeah.
they don't mess around.
Yeah.
It ain't up for discussion. I can't save $20 staying over here. No,
Yeah,
this is where you stay. This is where the team stays.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think it's cool, but it is
Yeah.
a lot of work.
We're getting involved with our first couple weeks of high school. My oldest is in high school, and it is fucking like, I mean, she leaves at 7 in the morning to get home at 7 at night. You know, so it's a whole different world we're about ready to get into. So
It's busy.
It's fun.
yeah,
It's fun. Wait till they start driving, and then you're just kind of a pass through.
yeah.
You know, just how you doing? Hey, I need some gas money. See you later.
I hear you. I know it's coming.
It won't be long.
Yeah,
Hey boys, I think we need to touch on the world standings a little bit.
yeah.
What do you think?
And this
Yeah, it's getting down to that point.
we're sorry we haven't had any of these podcasts lately. I've been hit up by a bunch of people. You know why we haven't had them. It's just been tough. This summer's been tough. Everybody's had schedules, and you know Caesar's gone. Brandon had kids. Craig had a kid. Britt's rodeoing. So I mean,
Pickleballing.
It's yeah,
Pickleball and a rodeo. Yeah,
it's tough.
I leave every Thursday or Friday, and I've been going to a rodeo in New York on Friday night and the Painted Pony, and then I'll normally either get in with somebody and ride back down about 4 hours to a little rodeo called Cowtown, and that's on Saturday night, and then I fly back on Sunday, and I get in just early enough too. It's like the nice because of the time change. I'll leave out there at 6:50. I land here at 8:40.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's pretty cool.
Then he calls me for his Sunday checkup.
Yeah, a big. My partner's doing good. Terry Shetron. He's a business guy that's a good friend, and it was not necessarily a challenge, but it was a personal goal to try to get him there, and he's at 4,100 right now. It's going to take probably 5,500. I've got a few more dollars won, but yeah, I'm getting after it.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna
That's
continue to try to close the door on him.
That's cool. That really is.
Yeah.
Did you just miss it? You're just like, I gotta just keep because there's a big difference, jackpot and rodeoing, right? Like, did you just miss the rodeo?
I do miss a lot of pretty much everything too, but it's just a little everything when I go to the Northeast. It's just a little lower key. I mean, it's just there's always good people. There's good ropers. A lot of guys maybe rope good, but again, I was talking about it earlier. They don't have anything to do for about 4 months because they just lock up. But certain guys always rope good. There's the Fabians and the Derek Carries. There's always guys that catch, but again, you just don't see it because there's not that many numbers. There's not 300 guys roping in one area. There's only 30. So, but I enjoy it. And like I said, to be able to try to get this guy to the finals, who's a personal friend, and he's worked hard at it, and he put a lot of money back into rodeo and other things. So
Let me ask you a question. I mean, this is you can be as candid as you want about it, but I know you. When you first showed up over there for your very first time, how many years ago that was, when you being an outsider. Did you get a lot of looks? Was there a lot of bullshit behind your back over there? Like, this motherfucker, what's he
they
doing
have
here?
a tendency to maybe be a little more drama filled up there.
I just feel like I would be, I'd be hating on
because
you.
the same people go to the same rodeos every weekend, but there's always something. And we visit about it and laugh and giggle, Derek and I do. But for the most part, it is a little more dramatical because they just don't know. And it stays, I don't want to say amateur, but yeah, kind of so. They're not worried about maybe trying to do better on the next one or figuring out a way to make this whole circuit better. They're just fucking worried about certain bullshit.
I guess my question is there's not too many 13-time qualifiers.
No, not up there.
You know what I'm saying?
Not a lot of guys.
Casey Cox is up there though every time. Big shout out to Droopy Dog. He reminds me. I say this a lot. We say that he's America's favorite house guest, and he's also who I call Droopy Dog and have for about 20 plus years because he reminds me of the guy on the cartoons, the little dog that when he pushes the button, he goes going up. But I do that all the time. I talk about Casey Cox, but he's up there. He tries to maintain some good steers at certain ones, and he likes it up there because, and again, it fits in with he's 67, I believe. He made the finals with Speedy one time. The one time that Speedy made him healing, Casey Cox was heading for him.
Okay. That's awesome.
So that's kind of a story.
That rodeo in Cowtown's pretty cool. I know a guy that fights bulls there.
Oh, it's so crazy. Just the other day, big shout out to JR, to a bull rider friend of mine too, but there's hardly any bull riders ride each week. So then the money carries over. And so then there was another guy, Hunter, I believe is his name, Bolton or something is his last name. But these guys have been kicking their ass up there. Like one guy won 20 some odd thousand within a couple of weeks. He was the only guy to ride at Cowtown, which made it worth 13,000 or something. All these figures might be off, but I do know that it carries over each time. But JR, another friend of mine from Kansas, he's doing good, trying to make the finals in the bull ride. And he's been sticking it to him and keeping his fucking hand shut. I like
Hell
that.
yeah. I used to love it watching them guys like come to the Roadrunner, like Tony Mendez. He'd show up to the Roadrunner on like Saturday night, take their money, drive back to Colorado. It was just like a weekly job for him.
Yeah.
He'd just drive down there, spur one down, drive home.
But the talent level, yeah, it's not as good. They don't have to be. They don't. They're not ever having. They don't have a choice. They just do what they do. And but again, it's fun. It's good. It's normally easier. Yeah, and there was a lot of times too. But it's been a deal where I've kind of just wedged my way in a couple of different places. Once, twice. Let's call it healer for hire. And this year too, doing the same thing for a friend. But then the other years, I was going to try to win the circuit, and that's still a personal goal. I mean, if I was going to say, anybody asked me what I wanted to do from this point forward, I want to win the first Frontier circuit. Like, I mean, really fucking bad.
What circuit were you? The Texas circuit? Or what?
Now, it's Oklahoma circuit. I won the Prairie circuit.
Prairie
I won
circuit?
the Wilderness circuit.
Oh, wow.
Southeastern circuit. Now we're going on. I want to win
That's
4.
awesome. Is there anybody that's ever done that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I don't
it sounds like
But I want to do it. I want to do it, yeah.
4
Hell yeah.
circuits in the PRCA?
Yeah, 4.
That's pretty.
That's pretty cool.
I want to
I
try
mean,
it
what
out.
do you know? I
I
mean,
want to try it out.
wow, that's pretty cool.
But I haven't done that yet, so maybe next year. We'll see what's up.
How is you were saying there's just not a lot of team roping up there? Not I mean, obviously nothing like here, but
Not a lot of jackpots, and you look at the times, which I call it embarrassing, but it just happens too. And these rodeos, I look and I go to them, and when the slack's over, if I was 13-6 and I won 4th, I'm like, oh, that's great. But then the other times, I'll look at it, and if I miss one or if my partner miss one, we're both trying like a sumbitch. But if you miss one, I look, and it's very embarrassing at a rodeo that if you go and you go 1, 2, 3, and then it says no other qualified times. I'm like, oh shit. God, I don't want anybody to know I was entered if there's just like 3 spots and no other qualified time. But it is. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of variables. But
Yeah.
these guys are, they're doing good. But talking about the rodeo at Cowtown again, and I bring it up every time. I don't know if the tickets are $25, $28, but I literally have been Ubering. I fly, like I said, I fly into Baltimore. I get an Uber a lot of times, and I go right to the rodeo. But when I get there, I mean, they'll tell you online, which on Facebook, they'll say, hey, Cowtown's sold out. I mean, there's 6,000 people there every fucking Saturday.
yeah. No, a guy from here, Coach,
Every
goes
Saturday.
and fights bulls there every year.
So with that many people there, it probably helps getting your blood pressure up and stuff. Because if it wasn't full, it'd probably be a whole different thing with your
Man,
psyche.
I tell you what I'll do too, and this is kind of weird too, and I don't mean to be too corny, nor do I ever want to slip off and look goofy on that. Let's just call it again that amateur side of things. But I have a tendency for people to be watching me. So there's been a time or two that on my way out or something, if they're saying, oh, he was 8.6, ladies and gentlemen, moves him into third. And about that time, I'll just look at the crowd and whoa! And they'll just hoop and holler. They don't have any idea why, because there's no favorites, there's no knowing anything. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna maybe try to. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna do this Sid Rock, and I'm just gonna jerk my shirt off after I win the rodeo. Jerk my shirt off. I'm gonna throw it somewhere, and then I'm gonna haul ass on my horse.
Because
There
if
you go.
people,
Maybe naked. I've been known to ride naked.
yeah, well,
There you go.
I would say because the people in the stands never probably even knew that were you in your prime. You know what I mean? When
Right.
you're
And
3.
They're over there Googling going, oh, shit.
Hey, well, that too. But here's this thing: they come to have just such a good time, and in the New Jersey area, I guess they're probably coming from Newark and Philly and all these places where literally, I think that the PRCA might need to do a better job as far as education. As far as teaching people about what it is, because literally they come because it's an event, and they're drinking a few beers and they holler and hoop, and they're doing good. The rodeo's upsetting because they don't really add any more money back to it. I've talked about that. I wish they'd work on that shit. And look, I'd be glad to go many more years and talk good things about Cowtown, but they make too fucking much money and they don't give enough back.
Right.
How are the steers?
They're okay, but once again, we're in the Northeast.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Big.
no, we're roping a set of heifers now. They roped some good steers to begin with, a little slower. A lot of guys, again, they go to bitching. No, big shout out to Chuck Smith, who doesn't like the steers sometimes. But I will say that they're trying. They rope these heifers, and they have to get special approved too.
That's what
But
I'm
they
saying.
were a little wild at first. And all the years I've ever roped to, and this is not Britt's, this is not Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy, but all the heifers I've ever roped in my entire life, whether it was my practice pen or anywhere, they just never are very great.
Low headed, running low.
They don't ever they handle what I call, they can kind of handle queer. They handle weird.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. So, but with that being said, they're all right though, but you kind of got to wait on them. And it makes it, again, the degree of difficulty out there shows within the talent field, and there's not as many catches, period.
That makes sense. Yeah.
How's the bull riding?
Bull riding's good. Like I said, my dog JR's been coming up, and he kicked their tail. That Hunter Bolton, I think's his name, kicked his tail pretty good. But Cowtown's got some bulls at Buck because they got their own stock, but they got some bulls at Buck, and Sean Graham's got some bulls at Buck. And gosh, I was in the chutes. I was behind the chutes the other night at Cowtown. Here's this boy with his fucking hat's all walloped like it's got the bunkhouse roll. And I look at him, and he just got this look of just fear. And he's got his old, I don't know where he's watched, maybe Lane Frost or one of those old movies where his old pants are just tied together with a hay twine, and he's got him tucked in and his boots all strapped up. And I've been fortunate to know some really good bull riders and become really good friends with them. But I just looked over there at him and said, "Hey, man, what do you got?" I'm just right over his bull. "Hey, what do you got?" And it was 208 was his number, and I think his name was, I don't know, Skull Candy. Let's call him that. And I go, "Oh, yeah, what's he do?" "Oh, he's pretty good." I said, "Well, I just want you to bear down." I tapped him on his shoulder. And I knew right then, I thought, man, I'm tapping a kid on his shoulder that could soon
He did.
Yeah,
dead.
that's real talk.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, gosh. But no, I don't.
How'd he do?
Close.
He didn't die.
No, but within that first lick, he was close.
Oh, man.
Just nearly a first jumper. But, man, I raised some buckers, and I know that there's no bullshit to it. And those guys that keep their hand closed, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I like it when they ride him to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy Regan Daly, he takes care of him out there, too. He's another bullfighter. But
You
you have to take care of him out there, or there's just not going to be any left.
Yeah.
There were so
They're just
many
knocking them off.
There were so many good bull riders that came out of Arizona that never kind of
Shout out Cody Hancock. Matter of fact,
huge.
I'm at Cowtown one night, and this announcer, he's really getting into it. Most of the time, they'll just look and they briefly look at the sports news or whatever they do on the internet, so they'll get somewhat of a history. But Cody, I'm like, who's this guy talking? Boom, ba boom, ba boom, 13th time, and he roped with Dole Gallerman, and he's a Hall of Famer and all this shit. So some guy's knowledgeable. When I get down there to the end, I'm like, I see Cody Hancock. He was announcing. I did not know that. I didn't know he was an announcer.
Yeah, he's
We
still
talked to
holds.
him the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah.
He buys hay. We talked to him the other day.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he-
I think
hey,
Cody pretty good.
good dude and a bull rider.
I used to buy a lot of bulls from
He's a
Cody.
bull rider.
Yeah, Cody's good. There's a lot of guys though that man, if they would have just been in this time frame, would have just fucking blown up. I can name a half a dozen dudes that I know that were just so good they just came at the wrong time.
Not to get off topic real quick, but you know a lot about bulls, and so do you know a lot about bulls too. You guys both had them. How do you guys feel one by one? How do you guys feel about this new deal with PBR? Only reason I'm asking is I listen to Cody Hart's podcast, and him and his son hate it about the teams. So let's just spend a little bit of time, but real quick, what's your opinion?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it. So they're Cody, he gives a lot of flack because those guys back behind the buck and shoots are cheering and they're really hyping it up and everything. I like it because I like the evolution of things. I like things to get better and better and better and better, right? So if they're using this teams aspect to pull in more fans, because obviously, like Britt saying at the Cowtown, right? All these people are coming from these places. There may be somebody there that, number one, doesn't know who Britt is. Number two, they ain't never seen a team roping. Never, ever. Never seen a bull riding. Never seen nothing, but they've seen NASCAR or they've seen the NFL or they've seen baseball. And they realize, okay, so Boston Red Sox are this team. Nashville Stampede is this team. They're on a team. It's the same format, right? I can watch this. I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can kind of understand it because what's the worst thing to do when you're watching sports? If you sit down at the airport and you get stuck watching soccer and you don't know the rules to soccer, that is the most boring shit you're ever going to watch. But if you know the rules and you know the concept, it's kind of fun to watch. Yeah. So I like it.
You?
Yeah, I do. I like it. I like it for many different reasons too. I don't really know what producers are getting now for an out. I mean, I know that in the beginning because I had some long go bulls go to the PBR, I had some short go bulls go to the PBR, and it was 1,000, 1,500. I mean, for sure the numbers, but I hope that is generating a better income.
It should
for those guys. Number one, my stock contractors, because I was in it for a long, long time, and I think it's worth it because of the money you pour in it and the shit that they tear up. Number two, hell, I'm always for the cowboy. I'm always going to be for the cowboy because and I don't mean to sound too Willie fucking Nelson, but it's my way of life.
Yeah.
It's what I know. I mean, everything I live and bleed and love was based around healing steers. But what did you do first? Well, I guess I put a cowboy hand on and act like I could do something, And I mean, I went for that genre. So if it's making those guys more money overall, hey, more power to them. And again, like I said, so if in fact Cody, I know, and I love the hearts, and sometimes it gets a little old fashioned, but so then we're going to tell Jerry that the jumbotron and maybe the effects that they're doing at the football games now, that sucks too. You don't like watching that shit.
Yeah,
no, I want anything that's more exciting.
Right.
I want anything where I can pull for favorites, and if it's Missouri or Oklahoma, hell yeah, I want to pull for my 918s. That's where I'm from. That's where I cut my teeth. I want to go. I love it. I want to be.
And
able
I mean,
to
they're having like the Arizona Rattlers.
Smart. It's fucking smart.
Yeah.
These guys are
Selling
doing it 'cause they're
jerseys.
smart.
Yeah,
they're doing it because they're smart.
And they're following a known winner. NFL,
UFC,
from the
baseball,
founder,
UFC,
from the founding members, when those 11 guys had the grit and the balls to say, let's do a standalone event, to truly the most fucking dangerous event in the world, in anything. I don't give a shit. You're not going to just strap yourself something on there that can step in your face and crush your skull.
Because
I love it. Tough always, he and I'd fight about equal money, and that's the only thing Tough and I fought about. And he was a team roper. Hell, he won the 15. He's just tough. But he would get upset because I would want equal money, and he would, well, you don't risk your life. Well, I'm like, yeah, but this is my life, and we would bicker back and forth. And, but again, I realize where Tough's coming from because of the shit that he's went through. I mean, literally, I love him, but he's just been stepped on and broken. But with that being said, it at that point, those guys took some money, put it together, and that bus and that vehicle has done wonderful things.
That's made guys like you, like the
wonderful fucking things.
When I did
you did the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
That was like
I put on the bull riding inside Barrett Jackson.
Yeah.
So I mean,
SRP.
SRP.
But that's because of the main
we
one.
were just piggyback
exactly.
off the PBR. That's all we did.
And
we
like you said,
piggyback.
you would have more added money to your deal at your bar when they had the deal in Buckeye, and you had all the riders at your bar.
I mean,
you can't take any other event out of rodeo and put you can't put a standalone event on. Yeah, you can put a jackpot on, but they're boring.
Yeah,
and they're there for a reason. You're not getting people.
No. I'd have 5,000 people show up at my bar in the middle of Arlington to watch. I'd have guys, Mike Lee. He drew out of a rodeo and came to ours because we had more added money. Those guys are chasing the money wherever it's at. And, the PRCA doesn't do that great of a job, I don't think, at really pushing that. Yeah. So for the PBR to do the teams thing, man, I love it. I think it's a good idea. I think Cody, I have utmost respect for that dude. I think he's super cool. Talked to him a bunch. But
have they got their own channel now?
I think,
really?
Yeah.
Pro Bull Talk.
Pro Bull Talk.
Yeah, big shout out. Those guys, I like it. But I think they jumped out and they kind of, teams suck when it first started. Because it kind of did suck. It was a little janky when it started.
Regardless about like whatever you think about it, what I like about Cody, and I just know him from the steel.
Yeah,
I like how he speaks his fucking mind.
Oh no, he's gonna say.
Yeah, I love that about him.
Me too.
No, he
don't give a fuck.
No, he don't care.
He tells that Sean Gleason all kind of shit.
Cleat.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta give a guy like that respect because I mean his brother is J-Dub and I mean the Iron Man. I mean
Cody was a great bull rider too.
Yeah.
Oh no, in his own right,
he was one of the best, man.
Oh, wasn't he a world champion?
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, Britt, or Brandon, either one of you guys. They're like when there's brothers in an event or sisters in an event, there's always one super fucking rank one, and then there's one just solid one.
Yeah.
Right? Like I know some sisters that barrel race, and I'll say this about them: one of them can be in the top 3 at everything on a good horse. The other one will win first sometimes on anything. You know what I mean? Like just some of them are super ranked, and that's kind of J-Dub. Like he was steady, solid all the time. But you run one under that can't be rode under Cody, and that's some bitch.
Oh, he dressed him up.
Yeah,
there was no joke.
How did you meet Tough? You don't tell me where.
These are always
Just
good.
Tell me how.
These are always good.
Actually, we were in Salinas, and we were at the right across from the rodeo grounds. It's the it was a Holiday Inn, and it turned into be the Rodeo Inn. But right across from their grounds, you just walk across there, and the party would be right there. It'd be at the bar, and they'd have the inner court where all the the pool and stuff was, and then the rooms all surrounded. So you go from the bar to there. Well, I don't know. I'm outside, and of course, twice maybe before, and once that night, somebody had come up and asked me if I was tough, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not tough. And like prior to his accident, and not that he was ever pretty as I was, but prior to his accident, tough was it just kind of had a look. Well, I 2 or 3 times said that. Well, I just as soon as I walk out of the bar at Salinas, I hear this guy hollering at me in this limo. He said, "Hey, come get in." And about that time, I get in, and that's where I met Tough right there. And then from that point forward, we had and we still do. I mean, I love him. He's a good people. He's a world champion bull rider. He's another guy that I'm talking about when he keeps his hand shut till it hit the ground. But he did good also with many other things, with his, with the movie and all different kinds of stuff. I enjoy him, but he's a special one.
Does he still have the CBR?
He does. I think he has some bull ridings where he's at
down
as far
in
as
Texas
El Paso and stuff. He has some good ones, but he's always hustling. He's always gonna hustle. And like I said, he not expected to win the 15 at the U.S. Finals, but did with another bull rider from Louisiana. But he won.
Did
the
you
15.
help him rope? Did you help?
Well, you know what? I tried to help him heal. And his boys, Robert Lane and Trevor, I got to rope with them a lot. And I'm glad I did. It was a great experience with the Hedeman family at that time. So, but Tough might have been the worst fucking student I've ever had in my entire life. Literally. I mean, I just would really, he would try so hard and he'd get so upset. But gosh, I mean, you could just tell he's so gritty and passionate. It's almost a little overboard, but that's just the reason he is the way he is. And it's not fake. Don't get me wrong. But it was hard to help him. He would kick too much. He never kicked in the bull riding. Fuck, he never spurred one at all. He always kneed up and had his toes in. But when he's healing, he has a tendency to kick too much. So that's kind of where Tough was. But heading, he could get it heading because he would just roll up there and rope him. But yeah, I don't know if he's still roping.
I love to hear the second half of that story.
When I got in the limousine, I met Tough.
Before we take a break real quick, I want to bring up something that we just want to talk about real quick. We had Suge Knight Jr. on our podcast, so us three interviewed him. And one of the nicest kids. It was totally opposite that I expected it to be.
I did not expect him to be like that.
I wanted to talk gangster shit. You know what I mean? We didn't. We lived, but he was
cool,
totally cool. But some of the comments we got on this deal were some haters, some
I
big time.
some straight to my inbox on Facebook.
So there's some guys said that they're not listening no more. I mean, we talk about these rodeo, the family that we are, the community, and like we were above that, you know what I mean? But man, it really showed some shit that it embarrassed me for y'all. Like, my God, like we can have whoever the fuck we want, and we're gonna continue having whoever the fuck we want.
And guess what?
You know?
And guess what? If Hoof Grip ain't here and Cinch ain't here and Fastback ain't here and everybody ain't here, we're still having this podcast.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to listen to it, turn it off.
And we're not trying to turn no feathers we know the kind of people we are by now. We've had over 100 podcasts. You know what we are. You know how we talk, and you know what we do. And
we love all these guys, and all the sponsors love it.
Yeah,
they're like, "Hey, man, that's cool. You guys don't only talk to."
If he came on and acted fool, I would totally understand where you guys are coming from like that. But this kid is very respectful. Still talk to him all the time. But the hate that we got for having that guy on our podcast, regardless of what you think about his dad, that's his dad. It has nothing to do with this boy.
And who cares? Like that,
his dad didn't hurt you put you over a balcony.
Didn't you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, unless you're Vanilla Ice's kid, I don't want to hear from you.
Once again, he was successful. Whatever he did, he was successful.
And that he embraced the cowboy deal, and we made some videos and But
he was a nice gentleman. He was a good kid,
well spoken,
got a family.
A lot better than me. Yeah, he spoke way better than I can. And at the end of the day, we don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna call him Sugar.
Yeah, and I mean that's how I feel. Like them guys that messaged me straight on Facebook, I can't believe you guys had that dude on there.
And shout out to you, bro.
I can't believe that you took time out of your day to tell me you can't believe I had that guy on my podcast.
I wish Craig. Maybe we'll figure out the guy's name because I want to call him out on here live because the dude that said he's never listening again. I would love to invite you here to sit down and tell me. You can become on the podcast. I want you to sit down and tell us why you're not listening. What did that kid do that was so bad, or what we said was so bad for you to quit listening? Because we don't give a fuck.
Because I'm telling you, I've met more guys like Britt that know more songs by his dad's company than I've ever met anything else. You know what I mean?
So,
It's a staple.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to get that off my chest real quick, but now it's good.
No, you're good.
We'll take a
All
break.
right, let's take a little break. We'll
Yep.
be back. Hey, thanks for listening to the Tolleson-Mack, and we'd like to just take a second right now and give a big shout out to one of our coolest sponsors we have, Hoof Grip. They do a great job. I've got it in my trailer. Caesar's got it in his. Brandon, Britt, everybody's got it in their trailers. We really like it. It's an easy, quick cleanup. And again, we just like to thank Hoof Grip. They do a great job helping us out to make the podcast be available for you guys. All right, we're back. We're back. So before we went to break, we kind of touched on some stuff about people not liking who we have on the podcast. We don't really care. So now we're going to move on to the world standings. And we had to extend our break a little bit because Britt got a few phone calls and got
Shout out Blaine Vic.
Yeah, my dog Blaine Vic checking on. He's
shout
out there at
out
the bid show.
Blaine Vic. Shout out Coleman Proctor. He
Coleman
called
Proctor.
earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, Coleman Proctor's a cool mofo, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's badass. He's,
Yeah, that dude's cool as shit.
he's my 918 dog.
Yeah, that dude.
But yeah, I mean,
Fire Creek.
you can tell too. Like, I will say this too. When we fix to talk about the bubble and give you a perfect example, is like, not that Coleman lacks any talent or he had a bad batch of beans or anything like that, but he went from, nearly winning all around and the team rope and heading champion of the world, Prior Creek, to having a little bit of tough luck this year.
I mean, it's hard to be the casual fan, watch rodeo, and not think the same guys make it all the time because you just pick up on a few names.
And I do still,
It's tough.
I do still. I mean, I'm not flipping shit, but like I was told too, and I'll bring this story up again, but it's different now. Not a lot, but I think that if you're talented, and you get there when you need to get there. But I'll say something about the stars at the end of the coat. But I will say too that they always told me, don't just make them once.
Yeah.
Don't ever just make them once, because I'm like, no, I don't want to be that. I no way, I don't want to be that guy. But it is tougher nowadays. But
let's talk about a friend of this podcast. We got a few of them. I'm gonna go down different, but right now, like on the Heelan side, Denton's 14th.
Absolutely. I'm so proud.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like
his story, I mean, I could be wrong about this, but I heard, I'm pretty sure when he told us on the podcast, but he didn't grow up with an arena.
No, he don't have one.
And he would go to different places. I remember he went to Jason's one time, and
Oh yeah.
that's saying something. Having to go to that extent to hustle.
Yeah, because I mean, like, there's a lot of these badass kids, but some of them have had
a lot more at
arena
his
in their
fingertips.
backyard
Yeah.
and things like
If
that.
I hit a steers for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, they still have to perform, but they have had that, and
well,
so
normally that shows too. I mean, those guys sometimes often will shine better because
Yeah.
they have to work harder.
Yeah.
I like that.
And like the casual fan, like you said, he had a chance to win 2 gold buckles. Go back to Coleman real quick. If the casual fan would have known what that steer meant to Coleman at that time, because nobody really did. A lot of people that were in the rodeo world did, of course, but like the casual fan didn't. Imagine that, the hype, the anticipation, like, you know what I mean? That's like 4th and 1 at the goal line,
with 2 seconds left, and
a lot of people just thought, oh, he just missed that steer.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
man,
there's a lot of story. It always pretty much comes down to around 10. I mean, because there's average involved in a round.
I can't imagine that right then. I mean, I don't know if I've ever had to deal with. I mean, yes, I've made some short goes and won some things that are great, but that was a big heavy load.
Oh, dude, man, and
But I like what he did. I mean, he was coming with it. I don't mind if you lose as long as you come with it, dog.
Well, he was trying to help his partner too.
Yeah, I don't mind.
And as much as I kind of get down on the PRCA on here a little bit, man, when those guys make it to the finals from 1st to 15th, it's like wide open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can win so much money at the finals. And if one guy is just off a little bit, one of them guys at the top's off just a little bit, and one of them guys at the bottom light fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you take like Aaron Sinigeny right now. He's sitting 11th in the world. And if I had to pick maybe a dark horse to show up at that thing and really just
he's been on fire this
just
year.
get it done.
We know Painkiller's good. Powder's good. Brady Miner's in. Mr. Focus, Jade Corkle's in. Lane Mitchell's got 96,000 and ninth. He's going to do good. Douglas Rich, Jonathan.
I've been watching Jade a lot at like these open ropens in Texas. That's on X Factor. Big shout out to X Factor, because I think that's super cool, because now we get to watch these guys at open ropens, not just at rodeos.
Yeah.
So it kind of humanizes them a little bit more. They're just the guy at an open roping. But I've been watching Jade, and like that's NFR focus that dude's got right now. Like, I mean, he's putting it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's a badass.
Yeah, he is.
I'm happy for Jake Smith. He's 9th right now.
Yeah, good.
Man, I'm
good
happy
boy.
for him.
Good boy.
His brother's 6th.
Sid's 4.
Oh yeah, tell
I've
us
known
something
him for a
about
while.
him.
Well, he ropes good. Um,
He pulls his hat a little, about too tight.
does he get down deep in his hat? I haven't really
His
watched
ears
him.
get a little bit bent, but I like it. He's bear down.
But
And
he's tried a lot. He's been going a long time. So
Yeah.
again, I like when I see those guys that have been putting forth the effort, and maybe it's been a 7, 8, 10-year tenure for them to try to make them. And
Well, let's talk about that. Mr. Wilcox, Coulter Todd. I mean, he's leading the deal, and I mean, there's not one that gets loose away from that guy. So
it's good things. They've won at the right rodeos. That was always good for Charles and I when we had our run down. Same way that it looks to seem if him and Derek, they got a run down. They finish. They kind of know each other's game, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but I mean they do. They know when and what's up. And Coulter Todd can kind of put himself in a position where he trusts his horse more. And not that he doesn't ride good, but he knows where Derek's going most generally every time, whether he's in a hurry or he's not. So,
and I think you can speak to this better than anyone probably we've had on here, or just in general. How much do you get used to roping behind the same header?
oh man, it was the greatest in the world. I mean, whether it was Steve Priscilla, big shout out to you, Cheese, Hall of Famer this year. When I got to rope with him, he got a lot of necks, and sometimes he roped a little bit behind him. But I mean, again, we still won most everything there was to win.
But as a
so I had to
healer,
ride
you knew,
different.
yeah.
But I knew every time where he was, and that's it was patented. That's the way he did it. He scored smart. He was normally cracking the whip right there or the neck.
Mhm.
But then with Charles, he was catching up and gaining so much speed on the white horse that they would just eventually kind of be right there with you no matter what the start was. If you left early to try to get a haze, you normally saw something happen. And like I said, I've said it before, there was many times I'd go with Charles to every rodeo. And if I went past the first light pole and was 5-2, I could do it once. I could do it 15 times in a row. And so that was comfortable for me because no matter what, I knew what go I was getting. And that's important too. These guys are reaching more nowadays, but I still think they know the same go.
Yeah, and I mean these guys that rope with with each other. Like, look at the Minor brothers, year after year after year. Like, he knows the handle that's coming.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, and it's great, and it's also great to know that they both worked hard enough at it, and their family provided great things for them. That look here, they're not just one or two like you were talking about earlier. Both of these guys rope good. And it was awesome to see the whole story that they stayed together this whole time.
Yeah, that's something in its own.
Yeah,
there.
that should get a gold buckle by itself.
Man, that's it is.
But I see that sometimes, like, those guys change up, and it seems like the first, I don't know, half dozen rodeos or something, it takes them a little while. But you take somebody like Coulter and Derek that don't only rope them in the arena, but they go outside and rope some.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just kind of know what that other guy's gonna do.
Yeah,
And
they're in the the off time they're together a lot. I mean, I don't say a lot of times, but they spend
they're
time,
homies.
Yeah, they spend time outside the arena as well. So there means something right there. So
they won at the right rodeos, but they're capable of winning at all of them.
All of them.
Bottom fucking line.
Yeah.
And then T. Graves with his man, they say.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping, man, because man, he's been out there a long time.
Yeah.
Levi
Lord, who I think feels wonderful.
That's got to be the chillest. I mean, I don't know him personally, so I mean, like,
his mannerisms.
People have talked shit before because I'm like, I want to party with Coleman Proctor, and remember what's her name's like, oh, that guy, you don't want to party with that guy. No, I do, but
he don't anymore. But one time he did a pretty good job.
Right, exactly. So, but like Graves, that dude just looks like he has the same look on his face every time, same loop, same everything.
I put him in the category as like what's his name won the world? Pesca. They were out there for a long time. They're the veterans. Like, he deserves one in my opinion. I'm so glad.
I see T. Graves get one. Another 918 man. So I mean, he grew up in Oklahoma. I got to grow up around him and see him. It's nice to see these kids, and not necessarily see a kid, but he was one that I saw grow up for a long time through team roping. I think he's got a great partner now. They say that Tanner Tomlinson's badass. So hopefully it works out for him. And again, it's all going to come down to 10 goes. I mean, again, Levi Lord's got a switch. He's roping with a good friend of mine, Shay Carroll.
Okay.
But the Levi Lord switch was because there was a Dustin Esquiniza,
a hired.
Yeah,
hired gun.
JC Flake, we heard about that. Junior's going to be sharp. Kobe Painkiller. Douglas Rich, he's 10th. Jonathan Torres, Sid Spores, 13th. Denton, we know, is 14th. Hunter, of course, we know he's solid.
Hunter to me is kind of a throwback to you guys. I just
pretty solid, man.
Yeah, the dude's rank.
Yeah, pretty solid. Jake Long, who again, I really think.
So Jake's on 17th. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
His healing speaks for itself.
So, but look at the numbers. I mean, like, there's not too much money far off between.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
No.
Yeah, Jake and Hunter, there's $2,000.
by no means is nobody safe.
Yeah, Nicky Northcott didn't start till late
Yeah,
because he
he's
was waiting for
24th, huh?
whatever.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about
So
Nikki
is
for a
Permy.
minute. Let's talk about Nikki for a minute. Casual fan again, just watching, rope a little bit, watch a little bit. He looks to me like a guy that needs to rope behind somebody that's going to throw 30-foot of rope. It seems like he ropes better like that. I mean, he can damn sure rope against, with the perfect, but when they wing him out there and he's just got to stand out there in the stirrup and get him caught, that's the guy you want behind you.
It looks like Shaggy's got him dialed in.
Yeah.
And shout out to Nicky, but it looks
Is he
like
still
Shaggy.
with the world champ?
Clay Smith? I'd have to.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was at some of them open ropings
Yeah.
I was watching. Yeah. And I mean, some of those things are fun to watch because they're a lot shorter score
Yeah.
and things like that. They change those things up.
Shout out Steve. He was a cool cat when he came on. He was a good
Yeah, he's good.
good interview.
Shaggy.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Wesley Thorpe.
Oh no, baby Jesus,
Don't sleep on him.
baby Jesus.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Wesley.
Wesley and I got, not to bring the mannerisms down, but this is more a celebration of life. But I become friends through the Make a Wish program this winter from a family from Thorsby that came down, and the boy had terminal cancer. So we did some lessons for a few days. Wesley and I, along with Smarty, we got him a
Oh, that's cool.
we got him a dummy to go back to their his place, and he had the tumor removed. It was the size of a grapefruit, and within about maybe 45 days, it had come back. They took another one out, and then just as of just a few days ago, Sully passed. So he's in a good spot. Wesley and I know that. Big shout out to Wesley and Junior for helping me out on that, and Smarty. Sully, you're on our hearts and our mind. We love you, my friend, and things are going to be all right.
Yeah,
Things are going to be all right, bro.
yeah. Shoot,
Yeah.
man, Wesley. When we had him on,
But they're just good people,
good
man,
people.
overall.
I mean, shit, I can't say nothing. And he does that thing for the kids. He brought that youth roping back. I mean, that thing's amazing what he's done for that. And that I know he's big time involved with that Ashford roping. He donated I want to say gator, and they got
like John Deere Gator, yeah.
90,000 for it. And I mean, he does awesome things. And I feel like he's doing what he's supposed to do as a 2-time or 3-time world champ.
Yeah.
3-time world champ.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask Britt, you look at these top headers, Tanner, Derek, and Dustin. Boom, they're all within 10 grand. Call it easy numbers. Do they just sail? Do they just chill?
Oh, yeah, but they're going to go all the way through this, so they know that right now they're in Bremerton, Kennewick, and then from Bremerton, Kennewick, we got Moses Lake. And then they'll wait around for Pendleton, and then Pendleton, I guess. And again, I was asking the questions too because I haven't paid attention to the paper enough where I just know. Coleman, after talking to him tonight on the phone, CP said that there's the Governor's Cup, and who's qualified for that?
It's confusing to me. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then we know that that's a factor.
Yeah,
as well.
big time. And that comes down to, I guess, back in your day, that's what the Champions Challenge was. There was the final.
Yeah, we had a lot of cups. They did the cup at Dallas. They did a cup at Vegas.
And that at that time was a bunch of money when you could go from 15th to second.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
15,000 was a big hit. Then. And
Yeah.
so
Real quick, you guys switch to the headers.
I'm here.
Look at the money from 15th to 18th.
Yeah, that's where it's always. That was always where, I mean, even back then where the money wasn't as big, it was just a lot of times you found that where those bottom 5 from 15th to 20th there wasn't a big spread.
No,
So it's just.
that's
always,
$1,000.
and-
The spread's $1,000.
Yeah, and
That's around anywhere. And is that such a nerve-wracking time if you're on the bubble? I mean,
it's the worst.
were you on the bubble a lot?
I was on the bubble more than I wanted to be twice. I remember going to the Cow Palace. That was our last. It was just miserable. I normally maybe had too many whiskeys by the time I'm watching the last guy go. But I can remember watching of one person, for instance. I remember watching the coach, Denny Watkins. I remember watching him go on his last one. Dennis Gates was another guy that I was waiting around on to see if he placed because
I thought you were going to say to show up.
No, at that time it was whether I was going to make the top 15 or not. And the Cow Palace was the go ahead. But yeah, I mean, more than I think it was twice. Twice I ended up on the bubble.
Well,
and
2 times out of 13 ain't bad.
it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's all right.
But most of the time you were probably in the top 10.
I was okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
And again, when Doyle and I did schools, we weren't necessarily worried about maybe being in the top 4 or 5, but we ended up doing decent because of our schools. In the spring.
You were talking about the schools. You were doing them. You said you shut down February till April.
March, April, May.
March, April, May.
Yeah, Doyle was disciplined about that because he knew the money was so good and he wasn't shitting. It was good. I mean, it was $3,000 a weekend, and I enjoyed doing it too. I enjoyed teaching.
Yeah, and it probably took your time off and then you're probably sharper coming back.
No,
No.
far from sharp.
He says that's a name.
Far from sharp.
That's
Because
a
when I get
negative.
back from the schools, and again, I'm so passionate about teaching. I would, I just literally try to help people so much, and not that you had to get down on their level, but you didn't rope enough, and then at the schools you try to get on to slow everything down. But no, it took a minute to get back right.
Well, we talked about it a little before the podcast. If you're playing pool with somebody that's good,
absolutely
you're gonna play.
clientele.
Yeah, you're gonna play up.
Absolutely.
So I got a question. Number 3 header, Dustin Essenskiza. Right now, that guy, he's a 30-footer rope kind of guy. I mean, he's throwing fast, but he's third in the world. I don't know when the last time is he came in third in the world. Do you change your approach to the NFR?
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Throw 30 foot.
Yeah, and I mean, I used to make assumptions. One of the first guys that I think was reaching to an extent, and it didn't hurt him, but he was reaching to an extent where I thought, and maybe I was a little bit older school and kept my blinders on to it because I thought, Speedy had years where it was wonderful and it was just like clockwork and there was so much rhythm and timing to his run. But I did think the very first guy, and he's a world champion. Big shout out to him too. Is Nick Sartain.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that at times because he was my buddy and he'd been around me all his life. I thought at one time I'm like, man, he's going into the lead, but I don't want him to reach too far.
Right.
Because he could. Bottom line, he could, and that's what happens. Them guys there, they got to a point starting with that generation where they were making it fucking fit, and they were making it fit
Because
more times than not. Because he went out there that year. I think he spun 10. Broke the barrier once, but I did think maybe his first couple of years he was going to reach too far and get hung up because of the wall primarily.
I guess part of my question is, and maybe it's just like Derek and Coulter are going to rope 10. Like you might as well put that in your brain. They're going to go out there and rope 10. They might rope all 10 in 5, 6, but they're going to rope all 10. So when you get to the finals and there's this much money to be won, when does the businessman part of it come in? Because
When you miss one,
right.
that's when.
Well, when you miss one, that's when you get fast.
That's what
when
I
you
mean.
wanna
I will
reach.
get some
Yeah.
clarity here. Nobody goes to win the average.
No.
Nobody ever goes. Because, if I look back and think, man, if I wanted to, if Charles and I sat back with a game plan and said, you know what, we get out there, bro, all I want you to do is be on scooter. I'm going to ride either Tamale or maybe Senior Hot Wheels. Whatever I'm riding at the time. But let's just go catch 10.
Yeah.
Because nobody fucking did.
Okay, so to ask me this.
There was 3 loops at one time.
Something happened. Boom, tomorrow, next year, you made the finals with somebody. You and Charles all of a sudden came back, made the finals. Would you go for that approach when it pays $90,000?
I already did it.
No, but I'm just saying, if it pays $90,000,
No.
you're gonna go for it.
I'm going to try to win the rounds.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not saying that Derek and Coulter are going there to win the average. What I'm saying is there's if we were all going to bet before we left here today and I could pick a team to win the average, that'd be my
absolutely.
team.
Yeah.
So the guy in third, does he think about, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I've really, I would love to be 3-9, 3-8, whatever, just, I wonder if like the business side of it comes into play.
It will after about probably the 5th round.
5th round?
Yeah.
After the 5th round.
But we talked about this before. That 90,000. If you leave Vegas with 90,000, that's a pretty damn good finals, don't you
It's
think?
a good year. Well, you
know what I
you
mean?
nearly have to have it.
Well, I guess it
Yeah.
depends on how
Survive.
much you spent there.
Well, I'm just saying if that's all you did is won the average and they write you a check for 90,000 when you show up to Denver, you feel pretty damn good. And say you went forward and you only won one round and some and it equals 60,000. I'm just saying like the businessman saying.
I would imagine 90 nowadays is what they're calling a break even.
I imagine.
No doubt.
Yeah,
And so then that to me, if I left there just breaking even, I'm pissed off.
Right.
I see that. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mad.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from more than one guy packing a PRCA card in their wallet that they've left there broke after winning something.
Oh, I know.
Like I told you guys before, you used to always guaranteed a 4th place or a 6th place check. So.
Right.
And Gold Coast was the only place that would cash them, and that just happened to be where I stayed for a few years. Thank you, Gold Coast. But yeah, we'd get there, and within a few days, I think it was my first escapade marriage is that I said, where'd that money go? And I'm like, I lost it within 3 days. It was 6,800 or something. I'm like, they can't cash these checks here no more. No more. Take this check that I win in the go around. Hopefully I get a lot more. Let them stack up, but I cannot gamble this son of a bitch. I'll be in trouble.
You know, like we talked about it before. We don't have to get too crazy into this, but you know, your career, like you said, you had that jet. You know what I mean? You were able to fly around. You were able to get picked up with that limo with Hort Dog. You know, like you had more at your fingertips.
Fun.
The fun side of rodeo, right? For
Yeah, I mean, it was good too. I mean, not necessarily. Number one, talent got me there. Thank goodness. A lot of hard work.
Yeah,
A
of
lot
course.
being gifted.
Of course. That's
but
why
it
you
got me
this
there. But then it also got me to a point where I was meeting the right people.
Yeah.
And then, so what did I do? Well, I just learned what my mom had told me, and that's be good to people and be kind, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and then it spanned to many other things because of my relationship with Tough. Tough went to Charlie Horkey. Charlie Horkey went to people that a lot of people will never meet and do a lot of things that people will never do because of one man, and that's Charlie Horkey.
Yeah.
You know, and big shout out to Slade. Now, it was CLS, now we're Slade. So I'm going to come see you, Hort Dog.
Yeah.
We're going to do a podcast.
That'd be awesome. We'd love to hear about it.
Let's move on to the sport where we seem to have gathered a lot of friends in this discipline, the calf roping.
Yeah, they're
Like this podcast is really, yeah,
real cool guys. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, man. Growing up, I always kind of thought they were pricks, but like the ones that I've met now, they're cool as hell.
Shout out John Dowse.
I will say this.
Shad is cool.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, these kids, you see the Clemens boys and all these boys that are coming up. But I will say, this has been something for years. Yeah, maybe since I can remember that there wasn't just 30 excellent team ropers that you had to kind of battle where there's now 50 or more plus. I don't know. But in the calf roping, from when I can always remember, I just thought to myself, man, I'm glad I didn't, because through college I had to do it and I was just horrible at it. I could get on them quick, I could score, but from that point forward, I'd get the whistle, even as an adult. But I will say that the calf roping, there's always been 60 guys that could fucking get the bell collar catch, get down the rope, get a 3-bone cross.
50 of them were from San Angelo.
No kidding.
South Texas, somewhere down there. But I mean, there was always that many guys. But
Yeah.
it's I'm glad it's not an event that I ever did. But yeah, I see these guys. I'm a big Cody Old fan. He's my dog. I mean, but I still look at now today's, and it's the Riley Webb. Yeah,
I like
Shad, man.
I like the
Money
Mana
Mayfield.
Mana. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they get
Riley
after it.
against Shad,
Yeah.
you know, and now you got John Dowse.
It's an event that
don't
allows
sleep.
people to pick, and maybe because they have a lot of matches within calf rope, and that works at a jackpot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not too slow. It works. People can pick one guy as a favorite, but
And
I think that it's always kind of been, and I like that. Because that makes, again, just like we've gone talking about PBR. People like to pick their favorites out of those 18,000 that are sitting there at the MAC, and then the standing people only. They're wanting to find a guy to root for.
Absolutely.
I mean, they really do.
I mean, I'm rooting for Kincaid Henry. This
Oh,
dude
yeah.
calls me all the time, see what's going on, you know, and he's coming in
I
seventh.
need to watch him rope more. I mean, I watch him rope.
He's
Yeah.
good.
And he kind of just does that, right? He's kind of middle of the pack. Hey, you know, John Dowse.
Yeah.
We went and picked him up at the airport. That dude's cool as hell. Shad came here.
I got him a case of that Whitewater waiting for him for the finals. He knows what I'm talking about.
All I ever hear from Brandon about the podcast, we've done, I don't know, 100 or something, however many we've done, but for some reason you like when I told them they were home doing laundry.
Oh, that was so funny.
And you only got that joke if you'd listened to the rest of the podcast.
That was funny.
But yeah, those and
That's an event that's grueling to a lot of talent because there's so many good guys to do it. So all of them. I mean, again, I probably didn't look at the top from 15th to 20th, but again, those are just it's from one rodeo to the next. We talked to Blaine Vick. He said he was going to Bremerton, he was going to Kennewick, and then he was in Salmon, Idaho. I mean, gosh, I don't miss it. I don't miss it.
man,
I don't miss it. I don't miss it.
So
I'll tell you what we would do. We would leave Kennewick, and then on our way to Bremerton, the first time I ever did it was with Matt Tyler. And a big shout out to Bird Egg Matt Tyler, one of the best ever, and many-time NFR qualifier that knew the business and handled it and had some of the best endorsements
my
ever.
favorite guy.
But Matt was the one, he was the first guy I did it with. We were in a Capri. We had a guy named Jim with us. He was our driver. Matt had a red Dodge, always matching, and Matt was clean as shit. You know, his rig was always clean. We had a 4-star bumper pull I think this is before his Whataburger deal. But he said, man, we're going to take the ferry across to the rodeo. I'm like, what do you mean? So, well, we get on a boat. I said, well, we have to unload our shit, or, we got a place to put the horses. No, you just drive on. And we did, literally. It was 3 cars, 3 lanes wide, and
Wow.
big ass kind of boat. And you drove up on there, dropped the front doors and the back doors, and you could get out of your truck, and it was an hour and a half ride versus a 3.5 hour trip around.
Wow, that's
then you
awesome.
took the ferry across
With the horses and all, huh?
with all of them.
That's badass.
Hey, let's talk about number 20 in the world in the calf rope, and Ryan Jarrett.
Yeah, the
So
veteran.
now think about this.
From the belt.
From the belt. Think about this. There's 12,000 that separates him and Tough Cooper, right? Cooper's in 15th.
Yeah, it's right around. I mean,
And I mean, Ryan Jarrett, that guy.
and they got Pendleton, they got the Governor's Cup. They have quite a bit in the Albuquerque.
I mean, that guy's. I've been watching that guy in the NFR since it came on at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I hope to see him at Levant, Maine, and Cumberland, Maine.
he goes over there too.
I seen Tough Cooper in Cumberland 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
He was trying to make him.
yeah, I remember that.
And then remember the story with Taylor Santos.
Oh yeah,
They drove across. His brother drove across so that he could get in. But
yeah.
again, the calf roping's kind of the same way. It's pretty easy out there. One guy out there at the Gary Rodeo, they have 4 rodeos in a row, and they was televised. Actually, the Cowboy Channel. One night there was only. Have you ever seen ground money in the calf roping? Yeah, it happened one night out there at the First Frontier Circuit in Gary, New York. One guy was like 14-3. He was the only qualified run out of probably 20 calf roping.
Wow.
It's a bad deal.
No, we understand why and everything. Like you said, the 4 months got closed up, and it's a lot of different things. But when I think of you just showing up over there, they were probably just giving like the side eye like a motherfucker. And I know you.
I'm going to enter the calf roping somewhere.
And I know
I tell them all the time I'm entering the calf roping. I'm going to. I'm falling because I just want one time. I'm going to save the sports news and I'm going to take pictures of it on all the social media feeds. Where when you look at the results at any of the rodeos, the first thing that you read is all around.
Yeah.
And it was it's Tyler's Brevios, it's J.R. Miners, it's Jacob Browns, it's all these guys that do 2 or 3 events. But a lot of times it's just because they place in one.
Yeah.
But I just want one time to say when they look at it, who went all around?
Well, let's get after it.
Let's talk all around. Stetson Wright, 355,000.
Man, you can't make money in rodeo?
Wasey Shala rolling around with Rocker Steiner in the Prevost
Hand shut.
at 293.
I mean, the amount of money they're making now in the PRCA. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has their opinion about the PBR and PRCA, whatever. It's a whole different mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different deal. But it used to be a big difference in money, right? Was I correct by saying that? Huge difference, right? And I'm not saying that it's anywhere close or whatever, but when those guys are making that kind of money,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it helps, like for the top guys, but I don't know.
I always wonder, like, why don't these guys leave the PRCA and go to the PBR? I mean, some of them do, obviously.
On that gold buckle, I guess.
Gotta be.
You know what I mean?
Right? Them yellow bucking shoots gotta drag
Which
them.
I always wondered why Sage didn't, but then he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finally did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did it at the right time too. I mean, like he's cashing in on his later days because how many times did he win a gold buckle?
7 or 8.
And in all fairness, and Britt, you stop me if you think I'm wrong. Won't hurt my feelings. Some of those bulls, the long round bulls in the PBR, are a little more rider friendly than what you're going to draw in the middle of Nebraska in a snowstorm at a PRCA rodeo. So maybe some of those guys later in their career
Can handle those bulls a little bit better.
and short round bulls, double rank. I mean, don't get me wrong, but some of the long round bulls are just a little rider friendly. I'm not saying that
for
they're
talent riders.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm not
versus
saying
a
that-
belly roller.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're dinks, but I'm just, they're not swamp donkeys out of something they caught out of Louisiana.
Well, yes, and Sage and them guys too. They're liable to run underneath them into their hand or with their hand that spins and got rhythm.
Yeah.
Versus a lunge off, no good some bitch.
Yeah, so
I
some
think-
of
But
these
yeah, that makes
guys,
sense.
That's what Cody Hart's big fight was, or big disagreement was, is because back in his day you couldn't pick. You just get on whatever the draw was. You get on whatever they run underneath you. Now these coaches, and then that's what it's built for. But these coaches now are able to put the guy that can go into his hand or away from his hand better.
They're picking bulls like that.
Yeah, they're matching them up. So he doesn't like that part about it.
But if you look at the statistics of that,
They
I
run.
mean, there's still, whatever. Say there's 5 in a game. I forget the number, 5 or 7 in a game or something, 6 maybe. Them guys are getting bucked off of 5 and riding 1.
Yeah.
So even if they're getting to pick them, they're still having the challenge of the bull.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a little easier than when Cody did it and you just picked a chip out of the hat and
Yeah.
you drew this thing we just tipped 15 minutes ago in the back.
Hey, look. I mean, I know too. and I get tradition, and I get Western
Mm-hmm.
tradition, and I get those guys that are die-hard Western tradition cowboys.
Yeah.
But everything has to fucking evolve, and if it's for
Does.
the better of a cowboy, if it makes his pocket fatter, if he can go buy more shit like a weed eater during the week and
Yeah.
come back and feel proud as fuck about it, then let's get him some more money.
And I do have a question about the teams, and I don't know, maybe somebody in the comments can answer it for me. Are those guys on contract?
Mhm.
They're on contract.
Yeah.
So ride, fall off, whatever, they're
Money,
getting paid.
absolutely.
Okay, so why would anybody bitch
And,
about
and not only that,
Well, they can't too because the format's different. Because I mean, I can just remember in the top 45 when they was bringing them back at the
Mhm.
when all those years during the big PBR deal.
Yeah.
So those years that I had some bulls there,
like Shivers,
well, like
Shivers,
yeah, but
McBride.
you would look too, and like Justin or even Shivers and guys, the first 10 or 15 guys, look at the money won. But then you look down at 45th,
Yeah.
it's like 750, 800.
Yeah,
you know,
they ain't
times-
buying fuel. Yeah.
No, bro, it's not good.
So that's to your point, dude. The evolution, it
Yeah.
has to happen. And if they're going to sign these guys under contract, and then there becomes a lot more things that go along with that contract. These guys can now afford to go on IR if they break their arm.
That's my point. Now,
You know?
since it's a team aspect, there's a lot more people that are making money off this team because there's a general
What happens
manager.
when one gets injured? Do they have buys or all?
Yeah.
They can go on
There-
IR.
and not there's the main lineup, and then there's the alternate guys. So there's guys on the bench. There's the general manager. There's the head coach.
I
There's the
like it.
there's the other backup coach. I mean, so there's a bunch of people making money.
Yeah, Luke Snyder. I know on one team, Luke Snyder's
Yep.
the general manager and Ross Coleman's the coach.
JB
Geppetto.
You know what I
shout
mean?
out to
Dude,
big shout out to them.
What's the Arizona team?
the Rattlers.
No,
Okay.
Rattlers.
Uh,
the Wildcatters?
no, that's
Oklahoma Wildcat?
Bucks, yeah.
That's Oklahoma.
Wildcatter.
No, the Rattlers. It's something like that though. But anyways, they do it over there in Buckeye, and you know they have
They gave my district like 900 backpacks. Shout out to the PBR. I thought
That's
that was
cool.
pretty cool, right?
Nice,
For
dude.
all the underprivileged
Yeah.
kids. That's pretty
Nice.
awesome.
You see what I mean? Like that's what's up. That's why you get this team going on. You need to be a coach if they ever get.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whatever they need, line dancing, PBR bull riding, I'll coach it all.
I
Be the
still,
lightning bolts.
from the day we've started this podcast, me and Brandon have talked about a team roping match, and I still think we should do that. Like, I think that would be so cool. Let people buy the teams. My team against your team. Let's match.
We were talking about doing that where we get just get 5 teams, get them locked in that we're gonna do it, and then get 5 businessmen. These businessmen put up money on their team. They buy their team, and then winner takes all.
Which, again, I'm not talking about tooting my own horn, but in Claremore, I did a deal what they call the Britt Bockius Challenge of Champions. It's on Rodeo Video. You can find it. But I had the same thing. I had an open roping, and then I had seeded so many teams. And I wanted, you have to get what? You got to get 8, 12, or 16 something. Because I was doing just like college basketball. I was just going to have brackets. And it was pretty successful for a couple of years. But what it just turned out, I was breaking even. I had too much labor and all kinds of shit that was going on. But my format, I wanted it to work. And I still think it can. I still think it can with the money.
Yeah.
I just had guys that were having to pay their own fees. So these 16 guys, I had them pay $1,000. I took 1 from the open jackpot or 2 from the open jackpot that I had prior to it, and I seeded them as well. And it could be like, I think Travis Graves got in one time or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was Clay and Matt. They won it 1 year. I think I won it 1 year. I don't remember, but yeah, it's on Rodeo Video, and I'm sure that Extreme's got it now. But it was a cool setup, and we had what they call the challenge, the Britt Bockius Challenge of Champions.
Because I love watching those like match ropes.
Oh man, it was fun.
Like
We did. I did 5 head.
the calf roping guys. They do it all the time.
But we had trouble too because I mean, if you had a buy or a loss, you were 1,000 in, and your first year you didn't do no good, you was gone. So, I needed a loser bracket, but I needed money too. And back then, like I said, I did it in '99 and 2000. You can find them.
Damn.
Did you see? I think it was last year or something. Shad and Riley matched, and were tied
Yeah,
at calf number
pretty
8.
cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. That's
What's that tell you about talent at the top?
yeah.
Tied after 8 calves. I mean, that's pretty wild.
So before we end this podcast, I just wanted to take the next 10 minutes real quick, and everybody likes to hear a story about something, and we got Pendleton coming up. Let's hear something all in 13 years about the Letter Buck or the Pendleton Rodeo or just this time in general. Give us a story when you're.
You know what? Pendleton always seemed to be. It got to a point where it starts about Casper. All right. So I mean, the year gets disgruntled people. They get partners that are at each other. You probably get people that are mad at drivers. I mean, just within the time you get to Casper, it's like, gosh, I've been either grinding and not doing good, or I'm grinding and doing good. But either way, sometimes it can be nerve wracking. Rodeoing's just not as glamorous as everybody thinks. But so we'd leave there, and then by that time, okay, so Pendleton rolls around, and Pendleton was always a place where I went with Brett Boatwright the very first year I was there. So it was 1992, and he was the one that I was talking about was tall and bland. I had
Yeah.
Boater, big shout out to you. I love you for everything you've done. Thank you for bringing me up in it and making sure that I did the right things. But your blandness was good for me. It was good balance. But back to Pendleton, I got a horse called Snoop Dogg. As a matter of fact, bay horse, pin-eared. We get there a day earlier too, and I'm like, Pendleton, I've heard it's on the grass. You hear all these stories. So I get there, and it's literally, I mean, it's a manicured football field. It's good, thick, whatever kind of grass they use, planted, just landscape, and people come in. And so I'm out there riding Snoop Dogg around, and this after I got my ice nails in, and that's 4 nails in the horseshoe that come out, you know, a little further like a cleat, and you put 4 in each foot. So I'm out there riding around. Well,
The back feet too.
yeah, you put them in all feet.
All feet.
All feet. So I'm out there riding around that first morning just because I'm like, oh gosh, you know, of course I'm green and a rookie. I want to see what my horse feels like on this grass, which it was slick as shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you had ice nails in or not. It's just slick. And there's a lot of stories at Pendleton, but the first one I remember is like, all right, so I get out there and it's just me. I don't know why, but it's just me. And then all of a sudden, here comes 2 Indians, and they ride bareback and they do this relay race. Okay, so I don't know what they were doing. They probably shouldn't have been practicing because I'm telling you, this fucking squall was just as drunk as one can be riding these horses. So I'm watching them the whole time, and I'm just like a kid. It's 92, and I'm like, these Indians are taking these horses. They're riding bareback. They're drunk. They're trying to smoke while they're riding and doing this. Well, about that time, I see them. They're gonna race. So they start about where the grandstands are. Oh, and so they start together. Well, then they run around the dirt track, and these horses are hauling ass. And they get just about right over here to where the team rope and chutes are. And the one Indian that wins, she gets to kind of slow down and breeze. But this one that was hauling ass, well, she rolls off to the right. And when she does, she's at full bore, bro. I mean, this saw horse is running. And she hits, and of course it's dusty. It's not water or anything. She hits and rolls, and I'm the only one there. I'm like, oh, my God, what do I do? I get off my horse. I roll down there too. I haul ass on my horse down there too, and I roll off on there too. And she's leaned up against the chute or against the fence. And she's leaned up just like this. I said, ma'am, are you okay? You got a cigarette? I said, no, ma'am, I don't. But I said, are you okay? Well, about that time, I didn't assess the situation, you know, as good as I should have. But I just looking at her, making sure she's okay. That's the only thing she could ask me 3 or 4 times. You got a cigarette? I said, no. But I literally, dude, I look at her foot, and if this was the bottom of your foot, and I'm sitting with my feet out, my back against the fence, it had turned around and was looking at me. Hey, so I don't know what to do.
So they say that those teepees and stuff, that they have their own little area?
Oh, they're all out back there, and I'm talking about they have a great time. Hey, that's hats off to the native people. I love you guys. But they are wild. And when they have these relay races, they get wilder. And the Pendleton's always about something's going on. You know, I can remember another year. That might have been my first year. And I tell people parking's kind of a son of a gun. I'm sure it's a shits now too. But I had rolled in there, probably put my horse in one of those stalls. And the one night I went to the Pendleton, I went to the Letterbuck room. Of course, you leave the Letterbuck and you go to Krabby's. Well, I'd had way too much to drink and probably more brown liquor than I should have. And this was prior to any recreational pharmaceuticals. So, I mean, I just was drinking. So I'd get there. Well, I had brand new. My first kind of living quarters was like the one we own right now. It's kind of made, but it worked. You know, all the air conditioner stuff worked. Well, I get up the next morning. I think it was maybe Tuesday morning. Maybe it was a slack the next day. I get up the next morning. I'm like, I'm moving. Well, I was the only one there in my truck, and I had me a red Dodge. Well, I'm like, I'm moving. I'm going somewhere. I ain't got a stitch of fucking clothes on, bro. I get up, and it's, thank goodness, maybe it was probably an 8-foot short wall at that time because I hadn't started doing real good yet. So I just give me 2 or 3 steps, and I open my door, and I open it up. I'm like, I'm traveling down the highway. And I kind of get my head far enough around my living quarters door. I don't know if it was curbside or whatever, but I see this big old wrecker. This wrecker.
Oh,
they
shit.
just got my truck jacked up, and
They're just rolling out.
they're just towing me away, man. So that was another story. I had to pay for that to get out of
So
there.
will you just wait until you got there and get out?
Yeah. Always a fight at Pendleton, too. I mean, Fred Whitfield, I can remember fighting time or two. Brent Lewis fights sometimes. I remember Kevin Stewart, my homie little half shell. was mouthing Steve Duhan there one time,
Mm.
which is probably not ever a good thing to do. Nobody needed to ever mouth someone big enough to burn diesel.
Yeah.
And just fucking raw and tough. Well, I looked one time, me and Steve Priscilla were there. About that time, I see Kevin just going, he's getting picked up and his feet are just dangling like this, and they're just swinging a little bit. Well, about that time, Steve Duhan's got Kevin's ear, like Holyfield and Tyson, got it in his mouth, and just barely at the end, at the tip of it down there on the little lobe, he bit some off.
Oh, fuck around.
Yeah, Kevin's still got, yeah, he's got the Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
But yeah, always something.
Yeah,
You know,
Shad said there was a fight there.
always a fight.
Always.
And then, of course, the
Rocker.
girls, there's all the signs that say, if you, whatever it was, expose, whatever, if you get your tits out, you're going to get kicked out. But always, every day, there's at least 2 girls getting kicked out because they drink that rock gut whiskey and give those tokens to them. And by that time, one of the cowboys had talked them into getting up on top of their shoulders and showing their tits. And they did, and then they get kicked out. But the floor at the Letter Buck by about maybe 7:00 or whatever time, it would just be filled that thick with whiskey because it was shoulder to shoulder, and everybody would spill their drinks, and people be showing their tits and bounce off and wanting to start fights there too. It would just be, I just remember the floor being, I'm like, man, that whole so much is spilt whiskey.
Do you think it's because that's the end of the year, everybody's kind of tired, and they just kind of
They are, and it's Pendleton, man. It's Pendleton.
And
the atmosphere, man,
The
is
atmosphere.
Pendleton.
and there's
'Cause, I mean,
so much penalty getting passed around.
I love to go there, and I didn't competing there. Didn't like it a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't like it a bit. I placed there a time or two. Chad Masters and I, we come back high team one time. He hickeyed a horn. That was a story. We hauled ass from the airport to get there, but I'd never done very good there. But literally, I was and not scared of anything because I wouldn't got to this point in my life with these kind of detours. But I was scared there.
Yeah.
I didn't like being there. I
So,
didn't like roping on it.
I watched a deal with
I like smoking grass, not roping on it.
Jackie Crawford. She went to Tom something lives in over there, and they set up an arena, and he ran him down. And he kind of did the similar deal like for as Pendleton. Did you ever do something like that? Set it up or you like?
Like to
No, I
practice
never
for
practiced that shit.
No.
No, it wasn't even. I didn't want to practice
Didn't
that.
care for it.
No.
Did you ever shorten an arena before you went to the
Absolutely, yeah, I'd set all that up. Then we did that in the latter part. Charles and I didn't do it at first. We ran plenty of steers in his arena, which was an indoor arena and down there in Ringland. But we did there towards the latter part with some of my partners. Steve and I set an arena up, Priscilla, and I don't remember. Wheatley and I were always in separate directions. But I know that they were trying to do the same thing, which I think's good.
Yeah.
And I know whether Speedy and Rich started it or not, I think it's a great idea.
Practice how you
It's
play.
a great idea.
Shout out Wheatley. I don't know him, but man, him and Matt Tyler.
We'll get Wheatley on.
Yeah, man,
Wheatley will
those are
come.
good guys.
Wheatley will come. He'll be back. I know he's coming probably back to Wickenburg, and I'll go to load him up and bring him with me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He's got great stories. He's a good storyteller. So Wheatley, we want you.
Yeah, we got a couple on the.
We
wish
need
list.
you, Wheatley.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna get out of here. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that's trying to make
Yeah.
the 2 bear down, get off your ass and win something. I want to see the good guys make them, and they always do.
Yeah.
Let's get it on. Nikki Northcott, bear down.
Denton
Yeah.
Dunning, we were rooting for you, Denton.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, right on.
Denton.
We got your back. Hey,
Sure,
shout out.
Cade.
Yeah, and one more time, Death Row Records.
Oh yeah.